he should be held in contempt. There was a subpoena. He did not answer it. Any other American will be held in contempt by Congress. Any other. This is Democrat privilege of the highest order. Let's do our jobs. I yield.
Wow. Gentlemen, yield. Welcome back, warriors. It's me, Linda B. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. Today, I have your favorite congressman out of Florida, Byron Donalds, and he is leaving everybody speechless. But before we get started, I want you all to remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, watch the video all the way to the very end. I really appreciate it. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. Also, on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, I do go live for just a few minutes, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. You can also follow me on Rumble, ChatWithMeLindaB. It is all one word. Now, without further ado, let's get into it.
Oh, look, let's be very clear. This isn't about Hunter Biden's white privilege. It's about Hunter Biden's Democrat privilege. Because Donald Trump Jr. showed up for 5 congressional subpoenas. There was never this circus where he was subpoenaed by House Democrats and he showed up on the Senate side or showed up at the White House to answer in some fake, phony, lame press conference, not actually going to the House and doing what he was compelled by a subpoena to do. Hunter Biden did that. And then he has the unmitigated gall to show up here when we know that we're going through actually the legislation for contempt, with, by the way, Mr. Chairman, we should actually get to the legislation of contempt. The speechifying is great, but let's do our business, members. He has the gall to come here, show up, and then when the Democrats are saying, hey, he wants to speak, he leaves. This is a joke. This is a farce. The man has been subpoenaed by Congress. Oh, and by the way, the Chicks Committee, Mr. Raskin, which you did sit on, by the way, that was not a normally ordered committee of Congress because Nancy Pelosi did not want the Republican members that then Leader McCarthy put up.
According to the courts, it was.
My time, sir.
Will you yield for
a
correction?
I was respectful of your time. I didn't say anything. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's move forward with our business. He should be held in contempt. There was a subpoena. He did not answer it. Any other American will be held in contempt by Congress. Any other. This is Democrat privilege of the highest order. Let's do our jobs. I yield.
Wow.
Gentlemen, yield.
Wow. All right, let's do the job, okay? Democrat, liberal privilege. Anybody else will be held in contempt. Do you see what's going on here? Hunter Biden did that, but Donald Trump Jr. did what he was supposed to do. See the difference here, what we got going on? There is no way anybody else would have been in contempt. And Byron Donalds, he is nobody to play with. I'm going to do some more videos on him. Yes, I will, because I really like him. I like his fire. How do you all feel about him being VP? I know you want him to be VP. That would be a great ticket. Donalds 2024. Anyway, let's continue watching.
Chair now recognize Ms. Ocasio-Cortez from New York.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to address briefly, quickly, that moment about privilege and all of this that we're seeing here. It was a very beautiful speech by the gentlelady, who, as she mentioned, was helped lead on the now majority side, the Civil Rights and Civil Liberties Subcommittee. But I think it's so exemplary of the point that she also oversaw the elimination of the Civil Rights Subcommittee on this committee, which really kind of gives the whole game away. We show up, we give speeches, we give flowery words, but at the end of the day, participate in the structural erosion of the rights and representation of people that are marginalized, women, people of color, people that just need to see their due process and civil liberties protected in this country. But I will move on. As also the Republican side had mentioned in their many raisings of the January 6th committee, that it's not just Hunter Biden, you, me, any individual subject to equal treatment under the law, to be held up to accountability under the law, but it is also these committees and this committee that is subject to oversight and law. We must comply with the law here as well. Now, I may be one of the very few people that actually believes in Congress, in this country, but I do, and many of us do here. And we have an obligation to engage in good faith participation to execute and comply with the subpoena.
So you're saying to me that a law that Congress passed 90 years ago allows for 10 million Americans to become felons today?
Congress passing a law allows ATF to regulate as technology changes.
Come on, Mr. Wilcox. Don't do that to the American people. We know better. Don't do that.
Chair recognizes Mr. Donalds for his 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Real quick, I find it interesting that my colleagues have no problem with the ATF going outside its boundaries with respect to this brace. Meanwhile, my colleagues have no issue with the fact that the President of the United States has made a complete bastardization of asylum at the southern border, which has led to more fentanyl killing more people between the ages of 18 and 45 in the United States. Fentanyl is the #1 killer of Americans in the United States. And they have no problem talking about that. They don't even want to discuss it. But we're here talking about this. Ms. Swearer, you just saw the video that was up on the screen. Do you have a response for this video?
Yes, though I suppose Mr. Bosco does as well. I think it's being used in a way to misconstrue the reality of SBRs. Like SBRs are actually still used by plenty of Americans who do have disabilities, but also just from the standpoint of SBRs themselves, they were the loophole, an attempt to regulate a loophole while trying to essentially ban handguns.
Weighs a certain amount, it makes the firearm longer. It's not making the firearm more concealable, it's making it less concealable.
Mr. Bosco, let me ask you a question. How many Americans do you think will become felons as a result of this rule?
Well, I think we should probably look at what Congressional Research Services did. They came up with a study that said anywhere between 10 and 40 million Americans own arm braces at this moment. If we use the smallest number that they have, which is 10 million, you will have an effect that come, I believe it's May 16th, which is the deadline. If someone wasn't smart enough to look up the Federal Register, who didn't know about this rule, from one day to the next, he will be in possession of an unregistered short-barreled rifle, and he will be committing a crime which is punishable of up to 10 years in prison. It's a felony offense.
So we see that Byron Donalds does not play. He does not play. He was really giving them the business about fentanyl across the border, all these illegal immigrants being allowed to come in, and it's the #1 killer of Americans, fentanyl is. He leaves everybody speechless. He brings the receipts. He does not play. We're going to watch out for Congressman Byron Donalds out of Florida. He could be running for president in 2028. He will be in his 40s still, and that'll be refreshing from what we've been having lately. Someone a little bit younger, you know what I'm saying? A lot younger. But you all give me your thoughts about it. He is so passionate for what he does. He is truly, in my opinion, a MAGA Republican. Make America great again. He is a Trump supporter. And he is very, I hate to say it, like a bulldog about what's right. He will not back down. He does not care. He is in your face. You got to know that the deep state's coming after him, trying to probably get him to shut up or just don't do this or don't do that. Vote this way. Come on, do this, do this. You know, you remember that audio clip that Carrie Lake, she recorded someone that was speaking with her, wanting her to go along with other Republicans. That recording. Yeah. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. And it's just so much corruption in Washington. It's just so much corruption, but we still do have a few good ones. And we need to support them. We need to pray for them. We need to support them with our prayers. If we can't send a donation, support them with our prayers. Because so much, and it's just a few, and the way I see it, a handful. We've got rhinos in the Republican Party. We don't need them. They're Democrats masquerading as Republicans. The Democrats are always coming up with something. Nothing will surprise me as to what they will just bend over and do. They will sink to new lows. No matter how bad it is, they are willing to do it. The anti-God, anti-American party. That's who they are. Well, that's it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Be blessed. And as I always say, march on, warriors.